All right, so what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy. And after yesterday's video where I was talking to you guys a little bit about Scarlet Witch and why I feel like her uniform is not necessarily a must-buy, even though it's making her a little bit better, I actually had a lot of you guys hitting me up asking me to do a video on Crescent because at this point, it's been 3 weeks since the drop of 5.5, and she's the only character that got touched in this update that I didn't make a single video on. And a couple of you guys actually really like Crescent. I didn't know that Crescent actually had a fan base that actually wanted to see videos on her. So that's part of the reason why I haven't made a single video on her. Besides the fact that I don't think her place in the game is actually being moved with this uniform, even though I picked it up and I got it to rare, and I will be getting it as far as I can get it using the free bios that we are getting from the event battle, right? Besides that, I won't be pushing this uniform very far because I don't think it's really doing that much for the character per se. But some of you guys out there actually like Crescent, so you want to see at least one video from me showcasing what I can do with mine. So because of that, I actually invested in the character more than I was going to, right? And I got her in the top 1,000. As you can see, rank 800 to be specific. And some of you guys out there are actually pretty crazy, so you've been asking me if I could give her a CTP of rage because you think she could be good with it. However, I don't know if I want to do that. So if you guys actually want to see that, hit me in the comments. I would be more than happy to do it for you if you guys are actually going to watch the video, okay? I'm not going to waste my crystals giving Crescent the CTP of rage if nobody wants to see that. So comment down below. Let me know if you guys actually want to see it. Nonetheless, I did build her up a little bit, gave her 5-star Urus for physical attack, critical damage, skill cooldown, and ignore defense. So her stats are in a pretty decent place right now. Nothing crazy, but it's good enough to somehow be in the top 800. It really shows that not too many people are actually investing in Crescent. And that just really cements my point that she's just basically a leadership. She has a lot of different buffs. Like she has so much in her kit, but it doesn't really equate to very much. Like look at her stats, for example. She has 35,000 physical attack at level 60, gear 20, and 30k HP. That is insane. Check this out. Look at Rogue, a certified beast. Now we know speed characters don't have insanely high stats, but Rogue is a monster, way stronger than Crescent will ever be at this point unless she gets a tier 3, right? But look at her freaking physical attack. That's like 13k less. Now look at Scarlet Witch, 29k compared to the 30 freaking 5, right, on Crescent. But that's not it. Look at this, guys. Captain Marvel, another character, certified beast, right? It's insane that Crescent stats are so high compared to some of the tier 3 characters in the game, right? Now, that's partially due to the fact that she has a good leadership, but 90% of the time that you're using her, you're going to use her with a leadership. And even if we take her out of the leadership role, let me switch the team here, right? You'll see that her stats are still pretty high. 28k, that's still way above Rogue. That's on par with Scarlet Witch for the most part, right? So it's pretty insane that her stats are so good, and she has all these different like buffs built into her kit, like ignore dodge, critical rate, critical damage, all that stuff built in, but it doesn't really equate to very much for the character. It's quite sad, right? Even after getting a uniform, her place in the game has not changed. So because of that, I still have a CTP of Transcendence on her, right? It's a very good one. It buffs the summons, it buffs her, and it helps keep her alive. But overall, man, I don't think this character is worth investing in. So sorry to all of you Crescent fans out there. I don't mean to shit on your character, right? I don't think she's that good. So that's why I haven't invested in her, and that's why I really don't use her at all, and I haven't made any videos on her. But if you guys actually want to see Crescent gameplay videos, comment down below. I would be more than happy to do it for you, right? Because that's why I'm here. If you guys want to see it, I'll do it for you. So we're going to jump in against Proxima here, and I think my level 60 Crescent using this team right here and these strikers, this is about as high as I can push with her, but it's nothing impressive. It's not wowing me, right? I think 42 is pretty decent, But come on, man. She's a premium character. I expect a little bit more, right? And she also dies very easily. So it's something to keep in mind. Like her damage is, I would say, mid tier, but overall, I don't find her to be like very fun to play, right? So that's part of the reason why I don't use her very much. Like there's a lot going on the screen, and it looks flashy. I like the new fifth skill, right? But overall, I don't think this is one of those uniforms that is a must buy, because ultimately you're just gonna use the character for the same thing that she was already being used for, and the uniform doesn't improve her leadership. It would be one thing if it was like a She-Hulk situation, right, where you buy the uniform and it makes your leadership better, like takes it up from 60 to like 70%, then yeah, this uniform would be worth buying. But to be honest, you're buying a uniform for a character that you're not really gonna be using, right? You're just gonna put her in the leadership role and then just leave her there and use somebody else to do the damage. I guess the most you're gonna get out of her is like a Shadowland clear, which I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing, because getting to the end of Shadowland, getting all the rewards, that's pretty good. But after you get there the first time, what else? What else are you gonna get out of Crescent? Right? It really sucks. It really sucks. And it really goes to show that the people who are saying Netmarble only cares about the original characters and nobody else, that's not necessarily true, because whoo, hello, that was a lot of damage, right? Because Crescent is an original character. She doesn't get treated like Sharon Rogers or Luna Snow. And the thing is, like, if you guys look at the original characters, even though 2 out of 3 are premium, they get given out like at least 2 or 3 times per year, minimum twice, right? So even though they're premium, Netmarble is actually pretty generous when it comes to giving away the biometrics for them, right? I know that lightning is coming. There we go. I've gotten used to you, Proxima. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Man, really? Okay, let me just tag there. And the thing is, oof, she's gonna probably make it rain lightning again. Like, I want to know where that damage spike came from, because we got like 2.5 bars, almost 3 bars off of her, but I didn't do anything different, and there was no defense down on her at that point in time. Like, there's certain periods of the fight when her damage just spikes and it becomes insanely high. I think it's partially due to the accumulation, but I use the accumulation all the time, and if that's the case, the damage should always be that good, but it's not, right? Hold up, I gotta be careful. If she gets out of the crowd control, we could easily die here. I think 40 plus, right? It's pretty good for a level 60 character. I'm not gonna lie, especially for one that doesn't have a damage proc. That's good. Like, when you take into considerations that I'm not using a damage proc on her, then this definitely looks pretty impressive, right? But then again, you don't need the uniform for this, right? I don't think you should buy the uniform just for this when we have so many other characters that can do this and then some, right? Especially, like I said, there's so many ways to spend crystals in the game, and as the game continues to grow, there's gonna be more and more ways for you to spend your crystals. So again, spending 1,000 on Crescent, I don't think it's worth it. But again, if you're a super fan, it doesn't matter what I think. Pick up the character. You're gonna find a way to use her, right? That makes you happy. And ultimately, that's all that matters. My opinion doesn't matter on a character that you care about. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna show you guys how she does here against Corvus. The good thing about this set of warrior is I can actually just drop Colossus and give her 1 ignore dodge striker. And because I have the CTP of Transcendence on her, right, that's giving her a good amount of ignore dodge. Plus on her 5th skill, she has some ignore dodge here, so I don't necessarily need to give her any more than just Black Widow. But it really kind of sucks that they nerfed the ignore dodge. Before you could keep it up all the time, now you only have it for 4 seconds. So yeah, feels bad, man. But let me show you guys how she does here. And maybe this will be good enough for you to buy the uniform on Black Friday for 50% off. You could possibly get more out of her if you invest a whole ton into her and you just like love using the character so much that you've found like how to use her perfectly so you can get the most done. But ultimately, I don't think she's gonna be shaking up the meta in any way, like, to be honest with you. Now, for some people, this is a good thing, right? Because it really showcases that even though Netmarble, sometimes they'll be playing favorites, right? And the Korean characters or their own original characters will get like all the love. it really shows that sometimes, even though they try to play favorite, it may not work out for them, right? Because they gave Crescent a whole bunch of buffs. They gave her a leadership. They now have a uniform on her, right? And ultimately, it didn't equate to very much. It still doesn't, right? She's still worse than Sharon Rogers and Luna Snow, right? Worse survivability than both of them, in my opinion, and way lower damage. Even if they were level 60, even if I could take them back to level 60, I would tell you guys right now, no, she wouldn't be beating them in any department. I'm sorry. The leadership, maybe. But like, I don't think like a level 60 Sharon Rogers in her Dark Star armor, or even maybe in her Starlight armor, right, would lose to a level 60 Crescent even with all these buffs and everything. I don't see it happening. And Luna Snow has the Entice, which just makes her super clutch. Then like so many ways to heal, like 4 different heals, immunity, right? No, man. It really goes to show that in this update, the star player, the one uniform that you should make sure you buy on Black Friday if you don't already have, is Rogue, right? And I really like that because it really shows that like sometimes the free-to-play community can get a win, man, because they could have easily made this the Crescent update or the Crescent Luna Snow show, but it's the Rogue show, baby. And I know this is a Crescent video, but like I guess gotta be honest, man. Like I have way more fun playing with Rogue than I do with Crescent. But don't take that as me being a hater. Okay, there's over 200 characters in the game, so many different uniforms. There's no way, right? There's no way I can love playing with every single one of them. And I think ultimately Crescent, she just falls into that lot, right? She's one of the ones that I don't enjoy playing with, and I don't see becoming much more than she is until she gets either a tier 3 or another uniform, which, to be honest, I'm not looking forward to another uniform for her because this one right here is probably not going to get to Mythic, right? Not unless we get multiple event battles for her back to back, because that's the only way. Like, I'd rather give my, hold up. Let's actually see if we can push him on to the next phase. There we go. I'd rather give my unused bio subs to like Carnage for the eventuality of my guy getting a uniform, right? Then give it to Crescent to get her uniform to Mythic to make her 5% better. I'm sorry, right? So that's exactly what I've been doing. In case you guys were wondering what I've been doing with my bio sub, I bought the bio sub and I unlocked Arrow, and the rest I've just been going into Carnage. One day Carnage will be great, I hope. Fingers crossed, right? So I figured, woo, don't die, Fury. Anyways, I figured instead of throwing it into Crescent and getting this lame uniform up to Mythic, right? Watch her get a tier 3 next month and then boom. I have to like get the uniform to, I probably still wouldn't, because the tier 3 would be the selling point for Crescent and not necessarily like if, but then again, even if she got tier 3, we have Captain America. Ooh, hold up. We have Captain America. We have Namor. We have Mr. Fantastic. Like, who would she be competing with? Like Wolverine? I'm sorry, but yeah, she would be competing. Oh boy, she would be competing pretty much. Okay, her 5th and her 4th got canceled. Lovely. So basically, if she got a tier 3 right now, it would be the worst thing for her, because she would basically be left competing with Wolverine and Black Panther, 2 tier 3s that nobody's really recommending, right? And ultimately, she would be like fighting with Wolverine for a spot in PvP. No, Wolverine would definitely be a much better, come on, don't die. Wolverine would definitely be a much better PvP character than Crescent. PvE, maybe Crescent could beat him, right? Because she has the leadership and she can use Nick Fury and White Fox at the same time. So if she gets a tier 3, she could definitely possibly edge out Wolverine. But again, she's still at the bottom of the totem pole, right? Not the point of the video. I wanted to show you guys what she can do here. She could probably do a little bit better here, but man, it's kind of a struggle to keep her alive because of the fact that they moved around the skill that charges, right, onto her 4th skill. So basically you have a guard for protection, which the guard doesn't really offer any kind of protection, right? Because you can get hit, like bleed damage, you can get hit with the purifying wind and all kinds of different effects that takes away the guard on the 4th skill, and then you're just completely exposed and you can be one-shotted, right? So yeah, she's not necessarily a safe character to play with, even though she has iframes, she has invincibility, she has healing. And again, even with all these buffs, right, the leadership, the crit damage, the ignore, dodge, right, and then her uniform offering her critical rate, all of this doesn't equate to a top tier character for me, right? For some of you guys, maybe, but not for me. Anyways, boys, we're going to wrap it up right here. Just like I said at the start of the video, if you guys actually want to see Crescent with a CTP of Rage, we can do it. I'm willing to do anything once, right? So if you guys want to see it, comment down below. Let it be known. We can do it. But just know that CTP of Rage ain't staying on it forever. Okay, we probably gonna come right back to this thing right here. But I don't want to waste my crystals unless you guys want to see it. So comment down below. Otherwise, we're going to keep it moving. I don't even think I'm going to get her to level 70. But, right, if you guys want to see her at Rage, I will then awaken her. Not awaken her, realize her potential, rather, right? Get her to level 70. Give her Rage. And we'll see what that equates to. Anyways, boys, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, you know what to do, man. Hit that dislike button 2 times. I said 2 times, god damn it. And if it's your first time here, feel free to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Because this is what we do. And we do it daily, you dig? Also, feel free to turn on post notifications if you're really down with the gang. Because you know, man, we crazy. Sometimes, just sometimes, we upload 2, 3, maybe even 4 videos per day. Yeah, that's how we rocking. I'm gone. Stay safe, fam. Peace.